So now a very little bit was discussed regarding relative motion. So now again we'll do that again briefly. Yeah. See now again relative motion you'll be studying for what is that? Rectilinear motion. Relative motion you'll be studying under rectilinear motion itself. So now say we'll take two cases, particle A and or vehicle A and B or particle A and B. So wherein they are moving with two different velocities. So V1 and V2. So in that case their relative velocity becomes what? The difference between V1 minus V2, the absolute value. V1 minus V2. So when they are moving along the same direction. So now when you take up a particles moving in opposite direction or towards each other, and their relative velocity becomes how much? V1 plus V2 meter per second. Now we had solved a similar problem for motion under gravity, wherein one particle was dropped from the top and one other one thrown from the bottom. So which was of similar kind. Now today we'll be solving problems on the same type. Now hope this is clear. So what is that? Relative motion we'll be studying under rectilinear motion itself. So when you are when you are studying when you take up two particles or bodies moving with two different velocity in same direction, their relative velocity becomes how much? V1 minus V2 or V2 minus V2. Absolute values we have to take. So and when they are moving in towards each other, away from each other, and their relative velocity becomes V1 plus V2 meter per second. Now what I'll do, I'll take a simple example on relative motion. So wherein it says, so what it says, there are two cars moving towards each other. I should have told moving towards each other. I'll explain in that figure. Yeah, there are two cars A and the other one is B, and which are how much distance apart? 4 kilometers, or you can write 4,000 meters, and velocity of A being, they are already under motion, 20 km ph, kilometer per hour. The other one is 30. Yeah, 30 km ph. So now they are moving towards each other. Now you have to identify at what time they will meet each other, at what is the time they will be meeting each other, and what distance from their destination or origin they will be meeting each other. You have to calculate. Yeah. So now say they are meeting at somewhere here, so which we do not know how much distance from the origin of A or how much distance from origin B. So let us call these distances as S1 and we'll call this distance as S2. Yeah. So now when they travel S1 and S2, so now both put together here, S1 plus S2 has to be 4 kilometer. 4 kilometer. Now what we have told, the relative velocity, and same time when car A or the car A, when it travels a distance of S1, say it would have taken time t, and while the car B to travel S2, it would have taken the same time t. It would have taken the same time t when they meet each other. So but what will be the relative velocity? Now since we have told they are moving towards each other, their relative velocity becomes how much? VA plus VB, that is V1 plus V2. Your relative velocity becomes what? VR, I'll call it as. Relative velocity becomes what? VA plus VB, that is 20 plus 30, which is how much? 50 kilometer per hour. 50 kilometer per hour. Now, so they're relatively traveling how much? At a velocity of 50 kilometer per hour. So when they meet, both together would have traveled how much distance? When they meet, this also would have traveled some distance S1. This would have traveled some distance S2. Now when they meet together, they would have traveled a distance of 4 kilometer. Together they would have traveled a distance of 4 kilometer with this much velocity. Now we know what is the distance traveled together, and we know the relative velocity. Now the distance divided by velocity should give us what is the time taken to travel that much distance. Now velocity, that is time taken, your time taken should be S1 plus S2 divided by the relative velocity. S1 plus S2 divided by relative velocity. So now S1 plus S2 is 4 kilometer, and this is how much? 50 kilometer per hour. Rather what I'll do, I'll convert these to meter per second. I'll convert these to meter per second. Now 4 kilometer, I'll make it as 4000 meters. I'll write first, then I'll convert it. This is 4 kilometer and the relative velocity is how much? 50 km ph. Now rather I'll convert it to 4000 meters and relative velocity 50 divided by 3.6. Now when you divide kilometer per hour divided by 3.6, that will convert it to meter per second. Now quickly get me that value. 13.89 meter per seconds. Hope that is correct. So that I'll be substituting here. So 13.89 meter per second. So now when you do that, so 4000 divided by 13.89, so you will be getting how much? 288 seconds. Your t will be 288 seconds. Now at 288 seconds, they meet at one common point. Yeah, they meet at one common point wherein it has, your car A has traveled a distance of S1 and wherein your car B has traveled a distance of S2. So now using again your basic equation, you can calculate what will be S1. What is that? Your S1 is equal to ut plus half at square. S1 is equal to ut plus half at square. Now since they are moving with the constant, S1 is equal to ut plus half at square. Since they are moving with the constant acceleration, this term becomes 0. This term becomes 0. So you will be left with what? Only u into t. U into t. U for this is how much? 20 km per hour. This has to be converted to again meter per. What is that? Meter per second into time is 288 seconds. Time is 288 seconds. And similarly S2 also. Similarly S2 also is equal to ut plus half at square. Again the second term becomes 0 because both the vehicles are traveling with this constant velocity. In that case your acceleration will be equal to 0. Now for here your again t happens to be 288 seconds wherein the velocity will be 30 km per hour, which you have to convert it to meter per second. So when you get those two values, now add them again, S1 plus S2, so still you will be getting 4 km or 4000 meters. Yeah, S1 somebody says 1600. Good. Now likewise you check S2 also. So you should be getting it as 2400. If S1 is 1600, so S2 it has to be 2400. So now only thing what you have to keep in mind is in relative motion is what? So when particles are moving in the same direction, what is that? The relative velocity will be what? The absolute, the difference between the absolute value of the difference between those two velocities, and they are when moving in the opposite direction, it happens to be the sum of those two velocities. The sum of those two velocities. Hope this is clear. Okay, now this was a similar kind of problem what we have taken in last few classes. So now what is that? We have a same type of problem. What it says, a particle A is dropped from 200 meter height of a building. It is dropped. So it is dropped in the sense its initial velocity is 0 meter per second. So when it is dropped moving towards the ground, we take acceleration due to gravity as plus 9.81. Now simultaneously or at same time, so from the ground or from bottom of the building, a particle B is thrown vertically upward with the initial velocity of 60 meter per second. With the initial velocity of 60 meter per second. So now since the particle is moving upward, so because of your acceleration due to gravity will be minus 9.81. Now as the time lapses, this would have traveled say some distance S1 and this would have traveled say some distance S2. They meet at one common point. Now so when they meet, the time taken by both the particle will be same, t seconds. Time taken by both the particle will be how much? T seconds. This would have traveled S1 and this would have traveled S2. When they meet at common point, they would have taken the same time t seconds. Now similarly, when you add up S1 plus S2, it has to be the total height of the building which has to be 200 meters. Yeah, now this problem what we'll do, we'll try to look into what is that? two different portions. One is motion of the particle A and one is motion of the particle B. Now coming to the first one, that is motion of particle A. So now taking our basic equation of rectilinear motion. So S is equal to ut plus half at square. So now we are looking for particle A. So now distance traveled has to be s2. Initial velocity is 0 and t, automatically the other term becomes 0 plus 1 by 2 into g has to be 9.81. 9.81 into t square. 9.81 into t square. Now this becomes what? S2 is equal to, how much is this? 9.81 by 2. Yeah, 4.905 t square. S2 is equal to 4.905 t square. Now taking for particle B, now for particle B, so what happens? Yeah, so it is thrown with some initial velocity. Now taking the same expression, so how much distance particle B will travel is S1 equal to, so initial velocity of particle B is 60 into t, 60 into t, then 1 by 2 half at square. So now 1 by 2 I will write as it is. So yeah, but acceleration due to gravity has to be minus 9.81. Now this becomes what? Minus 9.81 into t square. When you solve for this, you will be getting S1 is equal to 60 t minus 4.905 t square. 4.905 t square. So you will be getting so this I'll write expression 1, second one and third one. So when you add up expression 2 and 3, now first look into the LHS, it is S2 and S1. So now your LHS will be S1 plus S2. Now looking into the RHS, it is 4.905 t square plus 60 minus 4.905 t square. Now this plus and this minus get cancels. I will be left with only what? 60 t. Will be left with only 60 t. And already we have seen S1 plus S2 is how much? 200 meters. Is equal to 60 t, and t will be 200 divided by 60. Now check how much should that be? Somewhere 3.33 seconds. T will be 3.33 seconds. Yeah. So now if you want to quickly cross check, substitute t is equal to 3.33 here. Get the value of S1 and S2. When you add up both S1 and S2, so you should be getting it as 200. But that will be kind of cross check you can call it as. You can quickly do that. So get me value of S1 and S2, substituting the value of t as 3.33. Yeah. Sorry, the other part was left here. They have also asked what, and also distance from bottom of the building they meet. It is nothing but distance S1. 154.59. Cross check, 154.59. 45.41. Meters. Both have to be in meters. So there is one more important thing to be discussed in the, what is that? Motion under gravity. So many of the textbooks, few textbooks, what they do, see, acceleration due to gravity, they take it as plus 9.81 constant. See, this is important. What they do, they take acceleration due to gravity as plus 9.81 irrespective of moving up or down. Rather, distances, what they do, while going up, they take distance as positive, while coming down, the distance is taken as negative. Now, few textbooks follow this sign convention also. So now whichever you are comfortable with, you can follow that. Now what we have done, the distances we have taken absolute values, positive, and acceleration while going up we have taken negative, and while coming down we have taken positive. So when you do that, you will be getting still the same answer. Now follow one sign convention. Few textbooks follow this, what we have done here, and few textbooks follow the other way. They take acceleration plus 9.81 everywhere, whether going up or coming down. And distances they take while going up they take positive, while coming down they take distance as negative.